everyone, welcome to the Red Dragon Review. I'm your host Corey. Here at the Red Dragon Review, we take a look inside some of the best plays and competition from the seasons of Red Dragon sports. As a super sports fan myself, I thought what better way would I be able to spend my time than to share some of the best amazing athletic moments that I've captured this year with you fans. I have a couple segments for us to get into, so without further ado, let's get the first one going. The first Game of the Year nomination goes to women's ice hockey against William and Smith. This was an important game as both teams were fighting for playoff positioning, only one seeding away from each other. As you can see, William and Smith got off to an early 1-0 lead. Tempers were flaring. As I said, this was a very high-stakes game. And Cortland dominated on both sides of the goal, offensively and defensively. As you can see here, junior Carlin Bertrand getting the goal to tie it 1-1, celebrating with her teammates. Yeah, like I said, Cortland dominated, right? They put a lot of shots on goal. They really put pressure on William Smith, but William Smith, they handled and they responded well. They played solid defense. For as big as the shot gap was on goal, the score, you couldn't tell the difference. And even late in the game, it's still tied 1-1. Winding down, Cortland would get another opportunity late to get a goal to seal the victory here. And oh my goodness, just barely off the post. I mean, look at that again. That's such a close shot, right? Game almost ends right there. William and Smith comes back to try and respond in a great save by the keeper, Eileen. Right now we're on the overtime. 3 skilled players against 3 skilled players, so 4-on-4, including the goalies. Cortland trying to take their time right here to find something. Later, Haley Hunter would score the game-winning goal in overtime to secure the victory for women's ice hockey against William and Smith, with the final score being 2-1. My next Game of the Year nominee goes to men's hockey versus number 10, Oswego. Anytime you have a national powerhouse coming to your home ice, you definitely want to take advantage of it. And Cortland definitely stepped up to the challenge. Although you do see them down early with a 1-0 deficit, they matched the physicality and they kept their composure throughout this game. This game was very physical, very chippy. Both teams trying to get an edge and just leaving everything out there on the ice. Right here you see Devlin O'Kane, who would score and tie the game up at 1-1 in the second period, although that tie would not last long as Cortland would go down 2-1 within the next 10 seconds. Now, although they were down, they kept fighting. They kept their heads in it for sure. They stayed composed on defense. They tried to be as aggressive as they could on offense and, create opportunities for themselves. Here they are with a phenomenal chance, just not getting anything to go. This game was absolutely chippy. Like I said earlier, teams were getting after it and leaving everything on the ice. Lakers protecting their keepers, Red Dragons protecting their guys. But if it was one thing the Lakers wish they did in this game, was just stay a little bit more composed with the over-aggression, because penalties would come back to kill them. The Red Dragons would capitalize on some beautiful power plays late in the game. Here's the first one with Thomas Rocky hitting a beautiful slap shot to tie the game up at 2-2 in the third. Beautiful goal right there and a beautiful assist. And then here goes the second power play that Cortland would capitalize to put them in front 3-2. And once they got that lead at 3-2, they just never looked back. Here was the last play of the game, just a phenomenal takeaway. And the Red Dragons would upset the number 10 National Lakers. Pretty fun, right? Now on to the next segment. Since I've showed you some of the best team performances, let's get into some more individual performances and highlight some of the best athletic performances that I saw from one player this season. Let's go. A bunch of great performances this year. So honorable mention goes to Kendall Curry for his 7 3-pointers made against SUNY Plattsburgh in the regular season. I mean, you always expect a big game from Kendall being the leader on this team, but I mean, it's one thing to get hot. He for sure stayed hot, open, contested, Whatever you wanted, he was knocking it down. So shout out to Kendall for this amazing performance. My winner, however, of best performance goes to Fanny Anborn of women's ice hockey for her hat trick against Potsdam in the playoffs. I mean, what better time to come up clutch when your team absolutely needs to win in win or go home situation. Fanny came down and scored 3 goals to help her team win 4-1 against Potsdam, and that's absolutely going to win best performance in my book. All right, time for a little break in the action, but don't worry, I got you guys entertained with some of the top plays from around campus. Starting off, we're looking at Jesse, the freshman on the basketball team, with some crazy throw downs and pregame warm-ups. And if you guys thought these were some good dunks, you should have seen the ones he missed. Next, we got Jolene Lusk, who gets a stop on the defensive end. Then she comes down on the offensive end, waits for the double team to move, and gets her a nice easy lay. Now moving on to men's hockey, we've got a wonderful save by goalkeeper Nolan Suggs right here. Way to just keep his team in it. Moving on to women's hockey, we've got Kaylee Mahoney hitting a nice goal against Buffalo State in a game where the Red Dragons would win big in that one. Next up, you got Gavin with a steal, and he's going to throw the lob up to Joel Davis for the slam. Crowd was absolutely loving that one in the men's basketball playoffs, which we'll be getting into a little bit later. And the last play we have is Haley Hunter's game-winning goal, the top play of this semester in overtime. Go Red Dragons. All right, guys, unfortunately, that's just about all the time that I have today, but I would like to say thank you if you stayed all the way to the end of this video. It means so much to me. I'm so happy that I got to share some of the great videography of our phenomenal athletes this semester. I really enjoyed it. If you stayed all the way to the end of the video, please let me know who was your Game of the Year winner, who you would have went for individual performance, and list me your favorite top play. But without any further, I'm Corey signing off. It was a pleasure, and have a good one. Peace.